It's really cold, 25 degrees Celsius in
Yes.
Lagos. Stay warm, please, while you're listening to business updates. First, to join the conversation is very easy. Just go to WhatsApp and use this number 0809 444 That's 0809 444 Also, we're streaming live on YouTube, so you can see this wonderful gentleman in the screen.
Hello.
So go to YouTube and type Smooth 91 FM to participate in the show.
Thank you, Valentine. All right, so market activity yesterday, all-share index was down by 0.81%. The decline continues. 36,963 points is where we are at. So far this year, we're down by 3.4%. Let's see, the stocks that gained yesterday in value, 14 of them, 31 of them lost value. Straubing Insurance was the top gainer. Julius Berger was the top loser. However, Ayo, we want to talk about Oando. It was on the top 5. It lost almost 10% yesterday, and I believe there was some news that was attributed to this decline.
Yeah.
What's this? I'm hearing there was a court decision or something like that.
Yeah. Basically, even Oando has lost for 2 consecutive days now. So
okay.
basically on Monday, news filtered in that a $680 million fine has been slammed on one of the, I don't know, maybe associated
companies
to Oando, and then but the dispute is still on that there is no shareholder company, but that's so that negative news that filtered in caused that the negative sentiment we've seen towards Oando, and knowing the history Oando has with corporate governance issues as they've also been associated with a lot of controversies in the past, so the market just felt this was just another one of them, so it's better to just get out of this.
One issues and although as Ayo just said, the company did come out and say it's Mr. Gabriel Volpi now. The saga continues with Mr. Volpi. Okay, the Italian Nigerian businessman. Okay, let's move on from Oando now. The Bank of Industry, Ayo, it looks like they're about to give a loan boost to MSMEs. I'm showing here they're giving them what, 250 billion at single-digit interest rates. What's happening there?
Okay, it's good news for the MSME, additional more funding, opportunity to apply for more funds, and then also helps the BOI to extend loans and to develop those critical sections of the economy. But basically looking at what this story is about, just for those that have gone through and then might be wondering what's the structure of the loan. Okay, it was a syndicated loan, meaning several banks coming together to lend to a borrower. So we had about 16 banks on this particular transaction. So they put together the sum of about $750 million. So in Naira terms, it should be between 230 to 250 billion, depending on exchange rates. Right? We're looking at.
Yeah, we have so many exchange rates. Okay.
So and then another thing also to point out is the loan was given for a medium term, so 3 years. But the BOI intends to give out to the MSMEs for a period between CBN. In order to be matures after 3 years, they would have to pay back, whereas the
people that they are loaning to,
the beneficiaries would still be having the loan for another 4 to 5 years. So but the major thing to be highlighted there is the fact that the loans will be it's not surprising because the loan was in dollar terms, and since it came in dollar terms, it means that interest rates would definitely have been around the single digits since the borrowing was in dollar terms. So giving it to MSMEs at single digits is quite impressive, 250 billion, but I would say we're still a far cry from meeting the credit or the financing needs of the industrial and the economy as a whole. I mean, he mentioned that the industrial funding deficit is around 704 billion, but I would say that it's more than that, and it's not seeing it from perception thing. When you look at the industrial sector, we're talking about the manufacturing, we're talking about the construction, we're talking about the infrastructure of that sector, and the Nigerian infrastructure infrastructural deficit is at over 4 trillion. So I mean, our industrial sector is a far cry away from the model of the United States or say China and so many other economies ahead of us. So we can't say that the deficit is 704 billion. What would take us from business players? But we won't blame them, because when you look at the sort of economy that affects foreign investors, so basically, by the time you look at bringing interest rate down to single digits, and you are looking at the possibility of foreign investors exiting, because there's a risk premium on the Nigerian market because it's a frontier market. So for that reason, that's why we still continue to suffer from this. It's one of the reasons why we still continue to suffer from this double digits interest rates.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, what about me? Huh? What about me? What about Valentine? What about Benga, Kamu, and everybody else that sends messages? When are we gonna get single digit interest rates so we can borrow?
Ask them.
I just.
AE. Very heated.
See, very. So that's another thing. I'm sure there's like
on the part of how they are going to distribute loans to people. How do they apply? How do they get it? I mean, there might be some
stringent requirements. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, still on the whole, they get the money, and hopefully that'll allow them to develop. Let's look at the banking sector. Wema Bank's half-year results. Ayo, what are we seeing from Wema?
For Wema Bank, the half-year results for 2018 came out yesterday. Yeah. So looking at the initial glance at the figures, was the performance was fairly impressive. Fairly impressive. By the time we look at net interest income grew by about 7.1% from 8.5 billion to 9.1 billion. But this was driven by a reduction in interest expense, actually, not the interest, because interest income declined slightly by 0.2%, but interest expense declined by 3%. So that had an effect on the net interest income. So in trading income. Trading income grew from about 500 billion to about 3 billion.
Wow.
Full year 2017 trading income was around 4 billion. So by half year they have done almost
what they did for the entire year last year.
2017. Yeah. And they also in terms of the commercial income, in terms of the what makes up of that commercial income. So you're talking about when you do e-banking transactions, banking transactions. So all those. So they also made some good revenue. They made about 3 billion. Profit after tax grew about 20. It grew about 28.7%. Yes, about 28.7%. So from 1.2 billion to about 1.57 billion, which is quite impressive for them. But definitely we expect more from a bank like Wema Bank. I mean, it's standing in the Nigerian banking sector. Looking at these figures, impressive, but definitely can be better considering their asset base. And also the possibility that they might be paying dividends later in the year. Yes. So that's just informal outlook on them. So we are a bit cautiously optimistic about their operations for this year, because you look at, they have not paid dividend for about 10 years now. At the IGM in May, the MD spoke about the possibility shareholders, and the major was they are in of about 36 billion, which they to cover. Yeah. And the new CBN guideline has got our capital adequacy ratio, and we are part as of year 2017. They had capital adequacy ratio of about 14%, whereas the CBN standard for national banks is national bank. That's national banks was 15, which they fell short of. But they are planning to do a debt capital raise this year, which may buffer their capital base. So improvements in this area, might be to pay dividends. So I think their earnings yield now, that they are looking at their earnings to their price is going for half 11%. if they're able to replicate the performance in half year for the remaining part of the year,
Yeah.
we might be seeing them because EPS is at 8 kobo.
Yeah.
So by the end of the year, they might be doing about 16 kobo, which is translated
From Ayodeji Ebo, you should send us a tweet. Use that hashtag. Ebo says the loan can only be disbursed in single digits if BOI will not channel the loan through the banks. Oftentimes, if the banks will have to guarantee these loans, then it will attract significant premium, which ends in double digits. Great analysis, Arinde.
All right, thank you for that tweet. Since we're talking loans and debts, let's talk about AMCON, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria. I showed the new chairman that's been appointed by President Buhari, Mr. Muiz Banire. That's I hope I pronounced that right. That's the new.
yes. It's the person replacing, that's Muiz Banire. So talking about his prior experience, this role. I mean, he's a legal practitioner and he didn't play in commercial law. So we would have said he had some experience in banking law and things like that. Yes. So basically he had been in property development and land, basically.
So real estate.
Yeah. So and then we also look at the fact that the tenure for the AMCON chairman and bodies should be set at 5 years based on the AMCON Act that established AMCON. And Kuru was appointed 2015. So looking at that, his tenure should actually be ending 2020. But we are seeing a replacement. So there's a bit of
some stuff going on.
Yeah. So the talk is just around that, the competence of the new person taking over. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Let's take this message from Ify on WhatsApp. It says, she says, not sure if this is the same loan as trader money from BOI as well, but banks have started taking loans to the market. Petty traders would start off with about 10,000 and will repay. And with repayments of loans, it can increase to 120,000. But it is interest free with payments expected in 6 months.
All right, thank you for that, Ify.
Henry Manuel says Wema are pushing some good products into the market. They seem an attractive stock on the long.
Wema is behind Alerts. For most of you that don't know, they're behind the Alerts app.
Hi guys, Wema Bank is reflective of what is happening in the Nigerian banking industry. I noticed an upsurge in deposit but loans, sleepy growth in the loan books is existing. Let its banks face their traditional role of lending than running after government risk.
We saw that reflecting in their trading income.
Trading income,
the
T-bills,
so from 520 to 3.3 billion. That shows a lot of activity there this year.
Yinka seems shocked. He says, "What? Muiz Banire appointed as AMCON head? You see my problem with this government? This dude has having issues with Japan. And I'm sure this is just political at the expense of competence. Who does that?"
Well, you can remember, he has to be approved. I mean, if you want to take a bet, he'll probably be approved.
Shares the same sentiment. It smells like political compensation. The new appointee has been having issues with APC leadership compensation.
Interesting.
Question in there.
Interesting.
Another tweet here from Lawson. It says at Rotus, minimum CAR for banks with national license is 10%.
Is it 10? Is it 10? Okay, well, that's from who? Lawson loves correcting us on the show. Lawson, I'm going to check that out. I think, it is good. It is good. It shows our listeners are sharp. But I think it could be right. I'll take a look at that. We've only got about
2 seconds.
Oh, okay. You know what? We'll touch on this. Okay, you know what, iOS, thank you so much for joining us on Business Express today. And everybody, thank you for your messages on Twitter and WhatsApp as well.
Lagos, thank you very much for joining us. Rodan Quotes that's his handle.
Yes.
Rodan Quotes, with a K on Twitter. Ayo, thank you very much. Coming up next, you get a chance to see how you can win and get the best prices or, well, competitive prices in the market. And that's right after that at 7:30, we'll come with.
This is your breakfast smooth.